Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast. Sorry it's not been so there's no episodes a lot earlier this week. I've been struggling with all the ideas because this is very much a update kind of podcast. It really just updates you on the channel. So yeah, I'm sorry about that there's not been much lately, but I can't really help it. So we have a few things. So I'm now going to go to episode 2 of the podcast, see if anyone's commented there, and no one's commented, so we can get the Q&A off our list. So the oncoming magic, still not much news on it. I did a little bit of writing. I did a little bit extra writing on it. It took place right after a big scene. I may go and rewrite it though, because I think I placed that scene too early in the script. I think it should be more towards the third act, and it's still in the second act. So I think I may move that. So I may rewrite that scene. So now onto the remakes that I've been doing. This is probably going to be a very short podcast episode because I have not got much this week. I probably won't for the next few weeks. So remakes. You may notice I did a Bad Day for Samandal remake. Oh, I can also put redubs on. Hang on. So you may have noticed I did a Bad Day for Samandal remake. This is because I was kind of just wanting to do something in a Louis game, and also just wanting to make a video. So that's something I do want to do. Peter Sam and the Refreshment Lady. That's one I want to do. I probably won't do the Mid-Sodal episodes though. And if I do, I'm trying to figure out, do I base it off the Railway series, because I honestly prefer that version of the stories, or do I use the TV series ones? And that's where which one do I use? Because I prefer the Railway series, but I'm going off by the TV series adaptations of them on these remakes. And if I do remake them, then that kind of closes the opportunity for me to remake those stories, but it doesn't really close them off all that completely, because I will do a little bit of rewriting on them. But when I do come to the new Mid-Sodal series that I'll be doing, once I get to those stories, I may not actually be able to properly do them because I've already remade them, if it's Railway series or TV series. So that's why I'm kind of stuck on the Mid-Sodal ones, so they probably won't come. So redubs, I have a redub currently being done. It's Steamroller. This is not a remake. It's basically, keep in mind, this is a very much comedic adaptation of the story. It's nowhere near accurate to what happens. It even includes Buster instead of George. So yes, I will just say Buster is a piston cup racer. I'll just say that. So yeah, and now onto the main one that actually got me an idea for me to actually start doing this. Adaptions. So I was thinking, why not make some of these season 4 some of the Railway series stories, and make them in the style of season 4, as if they were actually adapted for season 4, because not all of them are adapted. And I'm thinking, what if I do that? What if I make an adaptation of them for season 4, and then you have like all those stories there. So I actually may do that. It's something I definitely want to get done. But yeah, it's something I do want to get done, and I will probably have to do I don't think I'll be able to do the Scarlarium and Aeneas origin story first, as much as I want to do that. I think I may have to do parts of those episodes in Mid-Sodal, the Golden Years, and I do not have the Gallantoid Engine Game Pass, so I'm going to need to get that to actually make that video. So that will be a little bit of work to do. So yeah, don't expect that one to come for quite a bit. Hopefully I will be able to get it done this month. I definitely wanted, one of the ideas I had for this series was when it came to the New Engine story, the book with Ivo Hewing, I was thinking I'll probably may adapt the rest of the stories that aren't related to Ivo Hugh and actually make them central around Ivo Hugh. So instead of it being Peter Sam's prickly problem, it's Ivo Hugh's prickly problem. if that makes sense. So he actually gets more development. And yes, while he may be going between Peter, Sam, Savannah, and whoever else it was in the story personality, it's still it still develops him. That's why I'm going for more of that. And if I want to, I can always give him more. I can always kind of edit the story a little bit to make it more, give him either here an actual a personality that isn't just Savannah and Peter Sams and the other one. I cannot remember who the other character had a main story in. Hang on, it's bothering me so much. I'm gonna have to check it. I think it was Duncan. Wasn't Duncan? It was Rusty with Rusty and Reneus, I think it was, with the Speed Killer. That's what it was, Speed Killer. So I got that wrong, didn't I? I thought it was Duncan. I was thinking of Chris Audrey's other book that he did, I think. So Speed Killer will probably stay as it's Rusty Central. The Sarandal story and the Peter Sam story will probably go to Ivo Hudo. I may actually I am intending to have it be I'm trying to make it realistic to what they would have done in the TV series. So there will probably not be Fred in the Speed Killer story. Plus he was only ever mentioned, but if he was actually being made for the TV series, you would see him. But then they did also, because it wasn't being worth the time to make Stanley, because they were intending to make Stanley for the TV series, only to replace him with Smudger. And it was just because it would be a lot easier to reskin one of the locomotives they already have and make him new faces, compared to making a new locomotive that they're only ever going to use once. And that was why they went with Smudger instead of reusing Stanley from the Railway series. And that's kind of what I may do with this. I may replace, who knows, I could probably do the same with Rusty, reuse Rusty's model, give him different faces, recolour him, something like that. That may actually work. So I may do that, who knows. So yes, or even make him just a steam engine. That would be pretty weird though. So yeah, Fred we'll probably could still make it, but he'd have to be maybe a Rusty brother. Because I was trying to make it accurate to what they would have done back then, and what was possible. Because I know it's very difficult for them to actually record season 4 with the narrow gauge engines. I know it's very difficult for them to do that. And if I'm being honest, I think it was a lot better if they kept the locomotives that they had to a minimum. And I think if they were to make Stanley, I think that would have only been a little bit more. I think that would have only been more troublesome for them, because they were struggling with the rest of them already. And I think if they did Stanley, especially if he was only a one-time use, I think that would be pretty annoying. But compared to Smudger, he was basically just Reneus, so he actually has quite a bit of use. And plus his faces would be used for Bertram. So yes. So that may just be it for this. This really drags out by the adaptions. I will definitely want to get them done. If I also have, actually, these are a few of the things I want to do. I also want to get a few little, you could say, custom Railway series stories out, introducing some new characters. I mean, currently I've been getting quite interested in the fireless locomotives, the steamless steam engines, you could say. Basically what they are is, it's mainly, because when you go into I watched the video, and what it basically said was that, in reality, all you need to power a steam locomotive is pressure, and while that isn't quite true, there are locomotives that kind of do that, and then the steamless steam engines or the fireless locomotives, well, they go by either ones, and they are air pressured, steam pressured. So yeah, and they also are a lot safer, I think. So apparently they can't go all that far, but I definitely want to make one. I definitely want to make a narrow gauge version of a narrow gauge seamless locomotive, standard gauge one maybe. definitely want to get Mary developed. She was introduced in Mid-Social Survivors, only briefly mentioned in the one picture. No, I have a few others that I wanted to do. I can't remember. I know I wanted to do Ivo Hugh to develop him, because he never got any. If I'm being honest, he didn't even speak in the Railway series. That's how developed he was, which is why I want to. That's why when I come to the adaptations, I'm going to make him, you know, give Peter Salmon's Randall's stories over to him in his book. Because it's literally called New Little Engine, and he only appears in the final story, I think. Well, and if he does appear in the other ones, it's only in the illustrations. But yeah, that should do it for this video. This is dragged on long enough just by talking about the adaptations, so I'm just going to quickly cross this off before I reveal too much. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye!